Martell Holt seems to have finally reached the point where he's ready to put down his weapons and stop fighting. After years of custody battles, legal filings, emotional courtroom exchanges, and endless back and forth over parenting, it looks like Martell is officially done. Sources close to the situation say Martell has spent thousands upon thousands of dollars trying to keep up with the legal system, court-ordered therapy sessions, and psychological testing. But now, he's drained, emotionally and financially. The man who once vowed to fight for control has reportedly admitted that he's tapped out. This shift marks a huge change in the ongoing story between Martell and Melody Shari, who have been locked in a tense custody battle since 2021. And for the first time in years, it feels like peace might finally be in sight. The word around Huntsville is that Martell is simply exhausted. He's been putting on a brave face for months, but insiders say the pressure of all the court costs, therapy bills, and testing fees has become too much to handle. Every move in this legal chess game came with a price tag, and it's clear those costs have caught up with him. Many people who followed this saga from the start are saying that this may be the final straw. The moment when Martell accepts that the fight is over and that the custody arrangement now stands as it is. The court's most recent order made significant changes to the agreement, and it appears Martell will have to accept that he no longer has the equal time he once enjoyed. For those who might not know the full history, the custody arrangement between Martell and Melody originally began as a modern shared setup. They split time evenly with the children, switching off weeks and alternating holidays. It was a 50-50 deal that allowed both parents to have consistent access to their kids, and for a while it seemed to work. But over time, as tension grew and both sides began taking legal action, things shifted. What was once equal became limited, and now Martell finds himself operating under a far more traditional arrangement, one that gives him only a few set days each month. According to the latest modification, Martell now gets the kids every Thursday and 2 weekends per month. He's allowed to pick them up after school on Friday, spend the weekend with them, and drop them off again on Monday morning. This is a major change for someone who once fought to have them half the time. This custody change appears to be the result of the court's concern for stability and structure. When co-parenting becomes toxic, judges often step in to establish a clearer, more limited schedule to minimize conflict. And in this case, it seems that's exactly what happened. The court gave Martell regular visitation, but it also ensured that Melody would have the majority of the parenting time. That's the reality Martell faces today, and from all accounts, it seems he's come to terms with it. After fighting so hard for so long, he now seems more focused on showing that he can be cooperative, respectful, and supportive as a father. Perhaps he realizes that trying to battle Melody at every turn hasn't worked, and that maybe it's time to show a different side of himself. Recently, Martell was seen picking up his youngest 2 children from school on Halloween. They were dressed in their costumes, full of excitement, and he looked proud to be there. He even posted a short video on Instagram showing the sweet moment. His caption read, "Nothing like that sibling love, plus being checked out of school early, plus it's Halloween," followed by hashtags with his kids' names. For Martell, this was more than just a father sharing a happy moment. It symbolized something deeper. After years of conflict over what could and couldn't be shared online, Martell was finally able to post his children again, openly, proudly, and without fear of violating a court order. This small act reflected a much bigger change behind the scenes. The last time Martell posted a picture of the M&M kids, the children he shares with Melody, was way back in August 2022. At that time, he had gone to court and reportedly pushed for an order that restricted both parents from posting the kids on social media. His argument back then was that he wanted to protect them from the chaos of online drama and public debate. That decision came after he and Melody had been feuding publicly, often taking jabs at each other through interviews and posts. So, Martell claimed it was about shielding the children from that spotlight. From that moment forward, He stopped showing them on his social platforms. But curiously, that restriction didn't apply to his youngest child with Ariane Curry, a child he continued to post freely. Many fans saw that as unfair, even hypocritical, since he claimed he didn't want any of his kids exposed, yet still displayed one child while hiding the others. But now, that's all changing. The most recent custody modification, which was finalized earlier this October, brought new clarity to the rules around social media. The new order reportedly allows both parents to post the children, but with an important condition. Neither parent can use the kids for profit or gain. In other words, Melody and Martell are free to share personal family moments online, but they cannot feature their children in paid partnerships, promotional posts, or anything that would generate money directly from the children's image. The order even stated clearly that the kids cannot appear in television productions or social media for gain without the court's permission. It's a rule meant to protect the children from being used as leverage or content, while still allowing them to exist naturally in their parents' lives online. This change explains why both parents have been posting glimpses of their kids recently. Melody, for example, shared a heartfelt moment where one of her daughters was seen praying before bed. She also reposted a clip of her and the kids playing on a swing, laughing and enjoying themselves. These were personal, genuine family moments, nothing promotional, nothing staged for profit. And for many fans, it was refreshing to see. It's been a long time since people have seen both parents freely expressing joy with their children, without fear of legal consequences or online backlash. It signals a possible step toward healing, even if only on the surface. Now, going back to Martell, the man at the center of so much public controversy. It's hard to ignore how different his energy seems now. In the past, he was combative, proud, and determined to control every narrative. He wanted to be seen as the head of the household, even after the divorce, and it seemed like he couldn't stand losing any ground to Melody. But this new version of Martell seems quieter. He's no longer flooding social media with long rants or interviews, trying to prove his point. Instead, he's just doing what he's supposed to do, showing up for his visitation, spending time with his kids, and apparently accepting the boundaries set by the court. Whether this is genuine growth or just exhaustion, one thing is clear: the fight has gone out of him, at least for now. People who've followed Martell's journey since Season 1 of Love and Marriage Huntsville know that his ego has always been one of his biggest challenges. He struggled to accept accountability and often deflected blame when things went wrong. But the courts don't operate on ego. They operate on facts, stability, and the best interests of the children. And after all this time, Martell seems to have realized that constantly challenging the system won't help him win. His financial strain likely plays a big role in this realization. Legal fees add up quickly, and therapy sessions ordered by the court can cost hundreds per hour. Add to that the cost of testing, evaluations, and travel. It's easy to see how Martell's pockets might have taken a serious hit. Those close to him say he's simply done. There's nothing left to give financially or emotionally. He's reached the end of his rope. This brings up an important question. Now that Martell seems to be stepping back, what does this mean for his relationship with Melody? For years, their dynamic has been one of tension, pride, and competition. Melody, for her part, has tried to move forward, focusing on her businesses, her music, and raising her kids with peace and faith. Martell, on the other hand, has often been seen as trying to prove a point, whether that's through public appearances, interviews, or even his dating life. But if this new version of Martell truly is ready to let go of the fight, it could mean a turning point for their co-parenting relationship. Without the courtroom battles and the constant back and forth, there's finally room for civility, even if they'll never be friends again. However, just as it seemed like Martell was finding calm, another layer of drama emerged. Not long after appearing to embrace peace, Martell once again found himself at the center of controversy online, this time for his social media activity. He was caught liking a post from a woman named Princella Clark, who spoke about the nature of men and monogamy. In the video, she claimed that it isn't natural for men to be with just one woman, arguing that monogamy goes against male instinct. Martell, using his verified account, liked that post. Fans immediately noticed and started sharing screenshots. It didn't take long for the internet to connect the dots, remembering that Martell has said similar things in the past, including during his marriage to Melody. Viewers recalled scenes from the early seasons of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, where Martell justified his infidelity by referencing the Bible, saying men were allowed to have multiple women. For many, seeing him like that post was proof that his mindset hasn't changed at all. This situation caused a wave of mixed reactions online. Some people laughed, saying Martell will never change. Others were frustrated, pointing out that he still doesn't seem to understand the emotional toll his actions have had on his family. But the timing made it even more ironic. Here was Martell talking about being ready to get married again, a topic he had discussed throughout season 10 of the show. And yet, at the same time, he was out here liking posts that questioned the entire idea of monogamy. It made his talk about marriage sound hollow, and fans quickly noticed the contradiction. Adding even more fuel to the fire, Martell's long-rumored on-and-off partner, Ariane Curry, posted a video around the same time showing off a vase filled with dozens of red roses, all while playing the romantic song For You by Kenny Lattimore, a song often used for weddings. The message seemed clear. Ariane was celebrating love again, and the timing led many to believe Martell had sent her the flowers. Bloggers and fans had a field day with it, joking about how quickly Ariane switches from angry to affectionate whenever Martell reappears in her life. They pointed out the pattern, how every time Martell claims he's done, something romantic happens that pulls him right back into old habits. And the fact that he had just liked a post about men not being monogamous only made the situation more unbelievable. This entire episode paints a complicated picture of where Martell stands today. On one hand, he's telling the courts he's done fighting. He's trying to show that he's a responsible father, ready to follow the rules and maintain peace. But on the other hand, his online behavior shows a man who's still caught between worlds, one who hasn't completely learned from his past. Maybe that's why people still question his sincerity. It's hard to believe in Martell's new calm when he keeps giving glimpses of the same old patterns. Still, it's undeniable that something has shifted. The Martell of today seems quieter, more withdrawn, and possibly more self-aware. Perhaps he knows that his public image has taken enough hits and that his best move now is to simply stay low and let things cool off. The Halloween post, in particular, stood out to many fans as a sign of this new chapter. Even though some rolled their eyes, saying, "Man, please," others saw it as a genuine moment, a father enjoying time with his children during a holiday. The video got thousands of likes, showing that plenty of people were happy to see Martell in a positive light again. It's no secret that Martell has faced heavy criticism over the years, but moments like these remind viewers that behind all the drama, there's still a man trying to be a father. And for the children's sake, many are hoping this calmer version of Martell is here to stay. Meanwhile, Melody continues to move with grace and focus. She's been sharing glimpses of her peaceful home life, her work, and her faith, showing that her priority remains her children and her growth. She's not engaging in online feuds or responding to Martell's subtle shade. Instead, she's letting her actions speak, and maybe that quiet strength has something to do with Martell's current surrender. When one person refuses to engage in the chaos, eventually the other is forced to face themselves. Martell might finally be realizing that continuing to fight Melody gets him nowhere. The courts have spoken, the arrangement is set, and all that's left to do now is to focus on being the best father he can under the circumstances. But let's not forget, this is Martell Holt, a man whose pride has often been his downfall. The question remains, how long will this new attitude last? Will he stay committed to peace? Or will he find himself pulled back into old patterns once emotions flare again? Only time will tell. For now, though, the situation seems stable. Both parents can share family moments online, the custody agreement is finalized, and Martell is no longer pushing for more. It's as if the war has finally ended, at least on paper, but the emotional scars, for both him and Melody, may take a long time to truly heal. What's clear is that Martell's public journey has been one of rise and fall. From being a successful businessman and reality TV star, to becoming the face of one of reality television's most public divorces, his story has played out for all to see. And this latest chapter, The Surrender, feels like a humbling conclusion to years of chaos. Maybe stepping back isn't a sign of weakness, but of growth. Maybe Martell has finally realized that peace costs far less than pride. And maybe, just maybe, this is the beginning of a more balanced, co-parenting future. One where both he and Melody can coexist without constant court battles. At the end of the day, both Melody and Martell share 4 beautiful children who deserve stability, love, and peace. Those kids have been through enough emotional turbulence, seeing their parents clash on television, social media, and in courtrooms. It's time for them to experience normalcy, school events, holidays, and quiet family time without cameras or controversy. The new order, allowing both parents to post them freely but respectfully, could be a step in that direction. It allows them to be seen as kids again, not as extensions of a reality TV storyline. So, as it stands now, Martell seems to have finally accepted his new reality. The custody fight is over. The financial strain has taken its toll, and the man who once refused to back down now appears to be surrendering, not out of defeat, but perhaps out of necessity. He's done fighting, and for the first time in a long time, both parents can breathe. It's been a long road filled with mistakes, lessons, and painful realizations. And while the story of Martell Holt is far from over, this chapter, the chapter of constant battles, seems to be closing. Whether he truly learns from it or not, only time will reveal. But for now, the drama has quieted, the children can appear online again, and both Melody and Martell have a chance to move forward, separately, but hopefully peacefully.